Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of E&Ftv. Today we're joined by the brilliant Sara Dufton, who is a senior revenue management professional. Sara, thank you very much for joining us today.
Hello everyone, and thanks Thomas for having me on the show. Really looking forward to it.
Oh, thank you very much for joining us. For anybody joining or today, or anybody that's been tuning in over the last number of Fridays, actually, just so you're aware, every single Friday we have a candidate that's on the market right now, and we offer them a platform to be able to tell the audience, obviously the people out there in our social circles, what they're about, what their experience is, what their background is, and of course, obviously, more importantly, what their experience has been like trying to find a job on the market right now. It's all about finding out what's going on the ground from the people themselves, and that's what we're all about. So I want to say a massive well done to Sara for taking the time out, but also being brave and stepping in front of the camera. So thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome. Really happy to do so.
Oh, good. Well, no, thank you very much. So what we'd like to start with is just to understand a bit about you, your background, I suppose what your most recent role was. So please do tell us a bit about yourself.
Of course. So I'm Sara Dufton. I'm originally French. I've got 15 years background in hospitality, and I never worked in France, so I've always worked abroad. How I came about revenue is actually through an internship, thanks to Accor. So I got to work at a hotel in Thailand for 6 months. I did a revenue internship, and I thought that was really interesting. And it was about analysis, strategy, and I thought, why not? You know, should give it a go. And further to that, I had an opportunity to work in Dubai for 2 years to open multi hotels there again with Accor. I was there from 2007 to 2009, so it was a big boom. There was obviously, a perfect time to be there because lots of hotels were opening. There was a great ground to learn and really get to understand a bit about these markets. So that was a fantastic experience, and it really confirmed my desire to continue into revenue. And then I had the opportunity further to that to move back to Europe with a full revenue management position at Accor in Bristol. So that was my first real revenue manager role, was multi-hotel, and it was also the first cluster office that they developed at Accor, so really interesting to be part of. We were starting to enroll with Easy RMS, so there was lots going on. I was looking after reservation as well, very dynamic role, and two brilliant GMs as well, whom I learned so much from. And after that, I joined the team at Novotel London Excel, and the year of the Olympics. So I've been in London ever since. I would say my most recent role was Director of Revenue at Ace London, so in Shoreditch. And before that, I've been with Mandarin as well as a director of revenue, and I had 2 years with Hilton as a senior revenue manager.
Fantastic. I can imagine, obviously, with regards to your varied background coming from the internship side of things, moving all the way through to director of revenue and so on, I can imagine the exposure that you've had to various different products, various probably openings and so on and so forth. I can imagine you've had an incredible time experiencing all sorts of different areas of the revenue management world.
No, I really did, absolutely. So yeah, of course, pre-opening teams, opening hotels, rebranding, because we had a Sofitel that got rebranded into a Pullman. Then we got strong events experience, whether it was at Bristol or obviously more so in London during Olympics. More recently, I've had CapEx projects. I have huge input into distribution strategies, such as, pricing, initiatives of direct pricing, looking at new systems. I also implemented Duetto. It was one of the first pilot hotels a few years back when I was with Pestana. I've had huge international experience. I speak 5 languages, so I put that to use as well along my career. And I guess very strong commercial acumen. I've worked really closely with director of sales to put strategy forward, to look at budgets, to set budgets. When we arrived at Ace Hotel, the budget had been set for this year actually, but my colleague in sales and I, we just decided, hang on a second, we want to reposition the hotel, we want to push it as a luxury brand. Let's just revamp this budget. And that's what we did, 3 weeks after we joined. So I think that's where we really made an impact.
Fantastic. I know that for anybody that will look at your LinkedIn or of course your CV, they will find out what languages you do speak. But please, just for the relevance of the video, and obviously anybody watching, could you just tell us obviously what languages you do speak?
Of course, so French, English, German, Italian, and Spanish. Fantastic. I have a bit of Thai and a few notions of Portuguese as well.
Yeah, every time I sort of look at obviously your CV and see this many languages, it's just mind blowing to me. But anyway, moving on from obviously your experience, so obviously what you've done, to I suppose more present day, obviously what's going on with you at the moment. And I suppose one of the most pressing questions, of course, is what's your experience been like from your perspective, looking for a job in this market?
It's been a bit challenging, and it's been very different to any other times because, we know of the current situation, the current market. Our industry has been the most severely hit with airlines. So there are very, very few roles and extremely few roles within that are relevant, at my level or at that senior level. So I've been I was lucky to have actually few interviews. I probably one of the lucky few who managed to get few interviews. I applied to so many different jobs within lots of different industries on a commercial level, sales, marketing. And obviously so many rejections. And then I decided to look at province because with my husband, we also thought, lockdown, maybe an opportunity to change life, to have, better quality of life and possibly leave London. And that's why now I've kind of reoriented my search outside of London because I think that market will recover quickly. And there is business in province. We know, between lockdowns, they've been doing well. So that's definitely where I'm focusing now. And I'm very hopeful, by speaking to recruiters like yourself, Thomas, and many others that I'm really well connected with, there will be new opportunities in the year. I'm very confident on that. There will be a chain, there will be groups that will be recruiting because they'll need new leaders to kind of tackle this new environment we'll be living in. And I believe that's where we'll be able to find, the perfect opportunity. So I'm a bit reassured with that, if that makes sense. There's been tough times, but it's been tough for everyone. And I guess it's just about reassessing, what we want, our expectations as well.
It's one of these things that's been interesting. One of the eye openers for me doing this series on a Friday with people that are obviously on the market right now is hearing about the way that they're going about their job searches. So some people are quite regimented. So, they are sort of 5 days a week. We, get up in the morning, you get up, you have your lunch, and they're sort of treating it as a working day. Other people are a lot more sort of fluid or organic with it, where they sort of decide, yes, okay, well, I'll sort of pursue it today, or I'll do it 2 days a week, or I'll do it 3 days a week. What's your approach been? I mean, how have you been quite sort of fluid and organic, or have you been more regimented? What's your approach been?
A bit of both, really. I guess at the beginning I was really, really focused. I was still obviously working for Ace, and knowing the upcoming situation with the closure of the hotel. So I had a bit of freedom, within my kind of work day to also start looking and start, putting myself out there. So I've been very proactive, contacting recruiters, like reconnecting. That's something I was, really keen to do quite soon. And then I was joining groups on LinkedIn as well. I was keeping abreast of what was going on. Like Duetto is doing a lot of interesting presentations, OT Insight as well. So all these new tools and technology, I think it's really important to keep abreast, to keep updated, to know what's going on, because they are the ones that could also be hiring. But it's important to have a bit of balance. Like I did breaks, I took on yoga, I'm doing meditation as well. And I started that actually since the lockdown, to have a breathing time and space. I think we need it. Otherwise, it's becoming too much, and you're not really getting that, making that much progress, or you're not feeling that you're very efficient. We all need breaks during the day, and especially when there is not really a border between work and personal life anymore, because we all work at home. I think it's really, really crucial to have these moments of refocus, recenter. Okay, breathing, go do yoga, go walk, go call a friend, whatever it is that makes you relax. I think it's super important to also incorporate that to the routine.
Definitely. And I think the sort of next point really is focusing more on keeping yourself motivated in a time where, as you've said, you've had those sort of application processes where you've sent however many applications out, you're not getting responses, or you're getting rejections, and so on and so forth. It can become quite overwhelming in terms of disappointment, and having that sort of value for yourself go through the floor and so on. So I suppose, how have you kept yourself motivated?
Well, for me, I think we decided to purchase a bike at the start of the year. Actually, this is just there, and that really was kind of saved our lockdown, because that obviously put us back in shape with a focus, a goal. As I said, I was starting yoga and meditation, just to take some breaks and also accept the situation a bit more than just fight it. It is what it is. That's the situation we're in. So many others are. There are people who've lost everything. I think we just have to step back and realize it's going to be okay. Mm-hmm. I've been trying to take my mind off things, by going for walks, calling friends, calling obviously ex-colleagues who are experiencing the exact same situation, just cheering each other up. I think that really helped. Yeah. And I had signed up to quite a lot of job sites as well, like, at executive levels. Some of them not really relevant to me, but it was just try and give it a go. I also signed up to a lot of free courses online. So it's, I think that's really helped me stay grounded, to have that balance, and to also have a schedule, like to know, okay, I'm gonna, let's say, work from 9 to 12, then I'm gonna take a break, take a breather, maybe have a lie down, or relax a bit, and then go back to it, maybe from 3 to 5 or 3 to 5:30. Not maybe. I think it's just having a bit of a balance, and not overwhelm myself or push myself too hard either. So I think that was important to have that balance, really.
Definitely. And again, it's a common trend here is finding that balance. I think balance is so important, and especially in a time like this where, as I say, self-confidence, I suppose disappointment coming left, right, and center. It's keeping yourself motivated, but having that balance, giving yourself that time to go out, get back out there, go for a walk, do yoga, whatever it is that you do to unwind. Whatever you're passionate about, I suppose. A lot of people that are into the arts, either painting or writing and so on. It's a time where we're able to explore that further. Obviously, there's a lot of negativity going on right now, and rightly so. But of course, with any disruption comes positive change. I suppose, finally, what advice would you give to somebody else that is on the market right now? So experiencing things very similar to yourself. What advice would you give to them?
I would tell them to try and be a bit patient in a way that try not to let yourself be too discouraged by the current situation. We are on the edge of recovery. I mean, we have the vaccine now that's already started. We have, things will get better at the start of the year. I'm a firm believer of that. And, having talking to recruiters that really confirm, I would say to them a bit of what helped me in the sense of, staying abreast of what's going on LinkedIn, learn new skills. Like, why don't they try a course, on learning how to code, or learning how to, or learning more on leadership or management, or anything that they feel they're a bit lacking of. It's a perfect time to take on that hobby or that new challenge. Learn a new language, maybe, whatever it is that floats your boat. Really, I would say have that focus of learning something else. I also, myself looked at completely different skill, but I'm now looking into nutrition because I was kind of also going into my wellness and yoga and meditation, all that journey, so that's kind of something I'm learning on the side. And because so many people will also rethink, reset, and realize, okay, what is it I want next? Do I really want a high pressure job, 9 to 5, in London? I mean, God knows how many hours in London. Do I want a change of life? What is it, what I want? I don't think we've been through all of that for nothing. I think it's also a time of reflection. Yes, they will find a job. Definitely things will get better. But what is it that makes you tick? Do you want to continue the life you had, or are there any changes you would like to make? Because for me, it's also a time of reset. And reassess our priorities and what really makes us happy. As silly as it sounds, really, I think it is important to take that time rather than just send so many applications day in, day out. Just breathe and think. What do I really want the next year or so? What's going to make me happy? Is it time to set up my own business? Is it time to look at a career change? Or is it time to learn new skills? Is it time to go on those free courses? I think it is also, that perfect opportunity to reassess all of that.
I completely agree on a number of points, if not all of them, to be honest. In terms of the development aspect, so courses, yes, massively up for that. I know a number of my clients are actually looking at what people have been doing during the pandemic when they've been at home. Have they been, watching movies with cereal out of a salad bowl and all this sort of stuff throughout the whole day? Or have they been sort of trying to focus on their professional development? And as you said, it could be data courses, it could be sales, it could be marketing, it could be wider commercial courses. It could be something completely outside of the hospitality or commercial element, as you say, nutrition and so on and so forth. It could be anything. It's just your own personal development. And that massively does lead on to the fact of, what do I want for myself moving forward? Is it just the job that I had always had for the last 3 years or 4 years or 10 years or whatever it is? Or is it something completely different? Is there something that I have almost found an opportunity to pursue something brand new? And from your point about starting your own business, yes. Some people might think it, the craziest thing to do at a time like this, to start your own business. Why would you ever do that? But I know of one person that very recently has launched their business, which I congratulated them on, and fantastic job. And another gentleman that's a very good friend of mine who is also starting his own consultancy firm. And I think fantastic, and all power to you, because this will be the time. And 2021, let's hope that it's the year that things do recover and things do pan out and we all do start seeing that positive change. But no, I think obviously for anybody watching this episode, please do, if you're thinking about recruiting or you're thinking about having or starting to have conversations with senior revenue management professionals out there, please do. I know that Sara would love to hear from you. So contact her directly, have a conversation, build that dialogue. That's what this program is all about, is building those dialogues. So don't contact us. Do not contact Edwards and Finn. Contact Sara. Her details will be in the description below. I know that she'd be thrilled to have a chat with anybody out there that is looking to recruit. And of course, Sara, correct me if I'm wrong here, but anybody that's looking to talk about their experiences out on the market, what they're experiencing, because that's what this is all about, is building this community. So I want to say a massive thank you and a massive well done to Sara. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Edward. Really, Thomas, I really, really appreciate it.
No, thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure. And guys, do not forget to see who's on next week's episode now.